frantic fight to save the Uddhav Sarkar. Rapid, repeated, offensive on Shiv Sena. BJP's Badla on Bala Sahib's son. Vindication of famous Fadnavis prophecy. Unfolding story hotter by the minute. Stealthy, merciless, Maha-political ambush. Top focus on India First. Good evening, viewers, and we are getting you the ringside view, the vantage position to this big political developing story in the state of Maharashtra. Uddhav Thackeray has been served the ultimatum by an insider, Eknath Shinde, who's gone ahead and said, go with the BJP or else I have 35 MLAs, too short of splitting your party. Can Uddhav Thackeray save his government? That's the top focus over the next 20 minutes. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Let me take you through the headlines first. Uddhav's government's fate hangs in balance as nail-biting Maharashtra political thriller jolts Aghadi. Eknath Shinde and 35 MLAs raise the banner of revolt. Shiv Sena rebel Eknath Shinde's ultimatum to Uddhav demands a patch-up with BJP. Saffron party likely to move all defectors to a resort on outskirts of Ahmedabad. Congress fights to keep its flock together. Kamal Nath, deputed to Maharashtra party, says none of its 44 MLAs have rebelled. Meanwhile, BJP holds key parliamentary board meet to decide on the NDA candidate for President poll. Yashwant Sinha is the joint opposition candidate. ED Herald Hilt on Rahul Gandhi continues. Congress MP back at ED office for fifth round of questioning. Congress stages protest against Rahul's grilling. All right, viewers, let's take you to the high drama that's coming in the Maha Vikas Aghadi. The Shiv Sena has moved its MLAs to St. Regis Hotel in Worli. Now, 33 rebel MLAs have camped in Surat. Well, that is what has been claimed by the Eknath Shinde camp. Now, rebel Shinde claims 35 MLAs with him. From Mumbai to Surat, the Maha Game of Thrones intensifies. What we are getting to understand, viewers, is that in Mumbai, the Shiv Sena MLAs that have pledged allegiance to Uddhav Thackeray and the Maha Vikas Aghadi have now been moved to the St. Regis Hotel in Mumbai. What you see on your television screen are all the MLAs which are being ferried to the St. Regis Hotel. We are also getting in a word that Aditya Thackeray, Uddhav Thackeray's son, has also reached St. Regis Hotel. Clearly, Uddhav Thackeray doesn't want to bleed any more than he already has. Eknath Shinde has taken with him with what he claims is the lion chunk of the 56 MLAs Shiv Sena has. 35 is what Eknath Shinde is claiming. 35 MLAs he claims are with him in Surat. As a countermeasure, Uddhav Thackeray, wanting to protect his MLAs who have pledged allegiance to the Maha Vikas Aghadi and to his leadership, are being moved in this cavalcade that you see on your television screens all the way to the St. Regis Hotel in Mumbai. Cutting across to my colleague Mustafa. All right, what you see, this is the vehicle of Aditya Thackeray. He's just pulled in, viewers. Probably he'd be camping here through the course of the night. Cutting across to Mustafa Sheikh, joining me right outside the St. Regis Hotel. Mustafa, you've been tracking all the developments. You know, I know it's difficult, but how many MLAs have actually made it? I know difficult to count, but how many MLAs who have pledged allegiance to Uddhav Thackeray and the Maha Vikas Aghadi have actually come into St. Regis?
Well, as of now, there are about 15 to 20 MLAs which are firmly with Uddhav Thackeray. There is a list which is floating from the Surat resort which has about names of 33 MLAs. So, you know, it is correctly being claimed by the sources in the Eknath Shinde camp that they have more MLAs in Shiv Sena and they want to avoid that two-third majority to, get away with the anti-defection law. That seems to be the plan as of now. what sources are telling us that Eknath Shinde has placed this proposal in front of Uddhav Thackeray that he doesn't want to leave Shiv Sena. He only wants that Shiv Sena's alliance happens with BJP because that's the demand of other Shiv Sena MLAs. Now, whether Uddhav Thackeray reels under the pressure and gives into the demand of Eknath Shinde, or he tries to maintain this Maha Vikas Aghadi government is something we'll have to wait and see. What Uddhav Thackeray has also told some of his MLAs is that there are few MLAs in Surat who have gone to that resort under pressure. They are wanting to come back. Whether Shiv Sena is able to get them back is something which is very important, because about 33 MLAs are there. Maha Vikas Aghadi needs a chance to save the government. They should make sure that Eknath Shinde has about less than 30 MLAs. So this is a struggle which is going to happen for the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. Back to you.
Mustafa, what's the indication? Uddhav Thackeray spoke for about 20 minutes to Eknath Shinde. The very fact that Eknath Shinde is entertaining calls from Uddhav Thackeray, because if he was very clear that he had to break the Shiv Sena, he had to, get the government down, there would have been zero communication. Is there an attempt right now that is going to be made to try and coerce Eknath Shinde back into the fold, or now the entire motive is to pull away as many MLAs from him?
Well, as of now, it doesn't seem likely that Uddhav Thackeray will give in this demand of joining the government with BJP, because he has told his MLAs while at the meeting at official residence Varsha was taking place, is that whether you people were happy during BJP or now. So after 2.5 years of this politics, can we go back? So this is something which the Uddhav Thackeray has indicated, and he has also assured his MLAs that other MLAs of the Shiv Sena who are in Surat will soon come back. So that's the assurance which has been given by Uddhav Thackeray. And at the St. Regis Hotel, the MNS...
Uddhav Thackeray, is Aditya Thackeray also staying the night at St. Regis? Is he going to be camped alongside his 17 to 20 MLAs, the indication that we are getting in?
Yes, of course, because Aditya Thackeray is one of the MLAs which are now in loyalist to Uddhav Thackeray, and with other MLAs, Aditya Thackeray is also likely to stay at St. Regis Hotel in Mumbai. Back to you.
All right. Mustafa, stay on with us. Going to come right back for the latest updates. It seems, viewers, right now, earlier on there was an attempt which was clearly made from Uddhav Thackeray to try and coerce Eknath Shinde. Eknath Shinde, is someone who enjoys a mass leader status, where especially areas of Thane are concerned. His son is an MP from Kalyan. He enjoys the faith of many Shiv Sena cadres, believes he himself is, dyed in wool when it comes to the allegiance to the Bala Sahib Thakeray's vision for the Shiv Sena and Hindutva. So one can well imagine that this is turning out to be a threat for the Shiv Sena. The Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray on his part, now we are getting an indication, viewers, is pulling away from trying to placate Eknath Shinde, now moving on to the next step, to pull away as many MLAs from Eknath Shinde who are camping with him and get them back into the party fold. We are going to cut across to Gopi Manyar, who is joining us right now from Surat. I believe, Gopi, it seems कि रात को ये पूरा ऑपरेशन होगा, जो वहां पर अभी कोई आंकड़ा तो आया नहीं है, कह रहे हैं कोई 30 तो माना जा रहा है कि उतने एमएलएज हैं एकनाथ शिंदे के पास. क्या रात को उन सारे एमएलएज को अहमदाबाद मूव किया जाएगा रिजॉर्ट पे?
देखिए, एक खबर जो अभी हमारे पास आ रही है उसके हिसाब से 33 विधायक इस वक्त होटल के अंदर है और एकनाथ शिंदे के साथ है, यानी 33 विधायकों का ये आंकड़ा अभी तक हमारे सामने आया है, जिसके नाम के साथ एक प्रॉपर लिस्ट हमारे पास आई है. साथ ही अगर यहां से शिफ्ट करने की बात की जाए तो एक बात ये आ रही है कि या तो उनको अहमदाबाद ले जाया सकता है या फिर उनको असम के गुवाहाटी ले जाया सकता है. ये दो चीजें अभी तक सामने आई है, क्योंकि ये माना जा रहा है कि जो यहाँ पे जिस तरीके से लगातार शिवसेना, क्योंकि सूरत से काफी नजदीक रहता है, बाय रोड भी अगर ये 3.5 घंटे का सफर रहता है तो वैसे में ये माना जा रहा है कि ये काफी नजदीक रहता है, जिसके चलते अब उनको यहाँ से किसी और सुरक्षित स्टेट में मूव करवाया जा सकता है.
गोपी, आप कह रहे हैं कि एक मेन रीजन है कि ये जो एमएलएज हैं सूरत से मूव करेंगे, थोड़ा डीपर जाएंगे गुजरात में, कि जो महाराष्ट्र से जो शिवसेना है, जो उद्धव कैंप है, काफी एक्सेसिबल है सूरत, तो इसीलिए वो आ रहे हैं वहां पर. गोपी, क्या वहां पर अभी जो पुलिस है गुजरात की वो काफी लग गई है? क्योंकि जो पहले देखा जा रहा था कि उद्धव ठाकरे के कैंप से जो लोग मिलना चाह रहे थे उनको एक्सेस दिया जा रहा था।
हेलो
गोपी, आपको आवाज आ रही है?
हेलो।
Okay, we seem to have lost my colleague Gopi Manyar, but let me quickly take you through the latest news break that is coming in from Surat. Viewers, the MLAs 33 in all. Right now, a confirmation coming in that there are 33 MLAs right now who are stationed with Eknath Shinde in Surat. They might be moved deeper into Gujarat because Surat is very close to Maharashtra, and earlier on we had seen that emissaries from the Uddhav Thackeray faction had gone to Surat to mediate with these MLAs. Now there will be an attempt to completely cut off all forms of contact with the mothership, one would say, the Uddhav Thackeray faction. Meanwhile, Uddhav Thackeray has finally spoken to rebel Maha Minister Eknath Shinde in midst of all the political rumblings. Shinde has asked Chief Minister Uddhav to join hands with the BJP to avoid any split in the party. However, Uddhav has refused the demand, saying there is no point of alliance with the BJP. Meanwhile, the rebel ministers in a phone call, the rebel minister Eknath Shinde in a phone call to Uddhav claimed that he has support of 35 MLAs. If he is to be believed, then the Maha Vikas Aghadi will well go down before the majority mark, putting the party on the back foot in the state. As the political temperature soared in Maharashtra, over 40 Congress MLAs hold key meetings with party in charge for Maharashtra HK Patil. The key huddle comes at a time when there is unrest in party over Shinde's rebellion. The other big development in a big India Today exclusive, Sena MP Sanjay Raut pinned the blame of Shinde's rebellion on ED, saying that he's just fearing action by the agency. Raut said that no MLA wanted to go to Surat resort, but they were forcibly taken to the hotel. Now, a mega BJP huddle in midst of the revolt in Aghadi. Union Minister Amit Shah has met BJP Chief JP Nadda at Nadda's residence in Delhi. According to sources, BJP is eyeing for president's rule in Maharashtra. Meanwhile, the Maha Vikas Aghadi government has been plunged into a political crisis. In late-night rumbling, Shiv Sena MLA and State Minister Eknath Shinde led a revolt and headed to Gujarat with at least 25 other Shiv Sena MLAs. How did this political thriller unfold? Here's the full report.
It all started with the Shiv Sena's crushing defeat in the Rajya Sabha polls on June the 10th. Maharashtra's ruling party lost out to the BJP, which managed to grab one extra seat despite lacking the numbers. The Uddhav government couldn't anticipate the extent of the damage till it lost yet again in another key battle just days later. The BJP once again snatched away a key MLC seat thanks to this man, senior Shiv Sena minister and virtual erstwhile number 2 in the Uddhav cabinet, Eknath Shinde. Shinde was last seen in public before the revolt in this video just ahead of the MLC votes on Monday. Within hours, Shinde along with 26 of his loyalist Sena MLAs dashed to a resort in Surat in BJP-ruled Gujarat at 2:30 in the morning. The rebels included other top Sena ministers and MLAs from western Maharashtra, Vidarbha and Marathwada. With the BJP shepherding the rebels, Shinde made a direct attack on Chief Minister Uddhav, calling himself a staunch Shiv Sainik who swears by Balasaheb Thakray's Hindutva and one who never cheats for power. In other words, everything he claims that Uddhav is not.
Any vehicle from MH, which is the MH number plate, no vehicle has been allowed to enter to reach this particular hotel, because like I told you, there are completely 4 layers of barricading. Now this person was stopped over here. Look at the barricading over here. He was stopped over here. He tried to convince the cops and tried to enter this particular place, but the cops, as they saw that it was MH number plate, it was a Mercedes car, they did not allow the person to go inside. A senior police officer from Surat Police comes out from the hotel. He tells the cop that this car should be allowed inside.
The fleeing of the MLAs has plunged the Maha Vikas Aghadi government into a massive unfolding crisis, with the Uddhav government tottering on the brink. After a huddle, the Chief Minister decided to dispatch emissaries to meet the rebel Sena leaders and make them return. But Shinde was promptly dropped as leader of the Sena MLAs, killing any immediate possibility of a quick truce. The Shiv Sena officially, however, has played down this entire crisis.
सबसे बात चल रही है, एकनाथ शिंदे जी से भी बात चल रही है। हमारे मित्र है, हमारे साथी है पुराने। मैं एकनाथ शिंदे जी को पहचानता हूं। वो ऐसे व्यक्ति है, वो बिना शर्त एक शिवसैनिक के नाते अपने घर वापस आ जाएंगे।
80 घंटे की सरकार की तरह ये भी असफल होगा ये प्रयत्न?
पूरा असफल होगा।
Uddhav's team tracked at least 3 more rebels who had planned to revolt. Minister Dada Bhuse, ex-minister Sanjay Rathod and MLA Sanjay Bangar were taken to Varsha from a Mumbai 5-star hotel. But will the Aghadi survive this turmoil? Bureau Report, India Today.
Big questions that need to be asked, viewers. Is Uddhav government under threat of a collapse? Is the BJP waiting now for the final kill in Maharashtra to move in? And did the Sena miss rumblings of Shinde's mutiny? Can Uddhav and PAWAR reunite the rebel MLA flock, and Maharashtra staring at possible government change again? Lots of possibilities, lots of options and lots of scenarios that are going to play out, viewers, in days to come. Well, right now, the spotlight on Uddhav Thackeray. Will he be able to save his government and his own leadership where his party is concerned? Meanwhile, Shiv Sena rebel Eknath Shinde needs 37 MLAs to bring down the Maha Aghadi government. Basically to skirt the anti-defection law from kicking in. Shinde says he has the support of 35 MLAs. That means he's only 2 shots short as per his claim. His demand is clear. He wants Uddhav Thackeray to trump the NCP and Congress and patch up with the BJP.
A nail-biting political thriller playing out in Maharashtra after India Today's big agenda-setting political newsbreak. The man on your screen has created a huge political storm. Senior Shiv Sena cabinet minister Eknath Shinde, who has now turned rebel. Holed up with over 26 MLAs at a resort in Gujarat, Surat, India Today's scoop revealed that it may be Chief Minister Uddhav's son and Minister Aditya Thackeray who may have alienated Shinde by denying him a free political hand. According to sources, Eknath Shinde was not happy about being sidelined in the Rajya Sabha and Maharashtra MLC polls recently. In fact, he was upset even right when the Aghadi government was formed. Harboring chief ministerial ambitions after being elected leader of the Sena Legislative Party, but pipped to the post, obviously, by the Thackeray Uddhav. Shinde's close aides say, despite being seen as number 2 in the Uddhav government, there was a lot of meddling in his urban development ministry, allegedly by Uddhav's son, Aditya Thackeray, and even his aides. Eknath Shinde wields considerable influence in Thane, Kalyan and Palghar districts. It was Shinde who had wrestled back Aghadi MLAs during the AJIT PAWAR rebellion in 2019. He felt cheated with what he perceived as a raw deal from Chief Minister Uddhav and his son Aditya. Shinde tried to highlight his anger in the recent Dharamveer movie on late Sena leader Anand Dighe. The movie is said to have portrayed Uddhav Thackeray in bad light and angered the Sena leadership. We broke the story first, and we'll keep you posted on what this Maha potboiler is unfolding into. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's come to the point, viewers. What made somebody like an Eknath Shinde, dyed-in-wool in allegiance to Bala Sahib Thackeray, a true Shiv Sainik who enjoys massive support of the Shiv Sainiks and the cadre in Shiv Sena, mass leader, where Thane and Kalyan is concerned? 6 reasons Shinde turned rebel. Number 1. The leader of Sena MLAs ignored for the chief ministerial post could very well be one of the reasons. He saw himself, after Bala Sahib Thackeray, to be the next CM if Shiv Sena came to power. Number 2, saw self as the number 2 in Uddhav's government, but that didn't quite happen because the number 2 was clearly put forth as Aditya Thackeray. Number 3, constant meddling by Uddhav's son Aditya. Maybe wasn't quite happy with that, where his urban affairs ministry is concerned. Number 4, even Aditya's aide allegedly meddled in his ministerial work. Number 5, didn't get free hand in urban development ministry. Number 6, helped Sena in Ajit Pawar revolt, felt cheated because he was the man who brokered peace. All right, viewers, fresh news break coming in. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has now appealed to Sena MLAs in a meeting. Now they are saying to join hands with the BJP. Did you suffer less when you were with the BJP? He has asked them. So how to go with the BJP now? We are trying to understand what Eknath Shinde wants. I am confident he will listen to me. All the MLAs will be with you soon. NCP Congress is with us. The inside track of Uddhav message to his MLAs. He's speaking directly to his MLAs, telling each one that they should not feel that they are alone, that they are being marginalized. Also telling them, because Eknath Shinde demands that the MLAs want, in his demand said that the MLAs of the Shiv Sena want to go back to the BJP's fold. And Uddhav Thackeray is asking them, how can we go with the BJP now? Trying to understand what Shinde wants, confident Shinde will listen to me. It seems Uddhav Thackeray hasn't shut the door of trying to get Eknath Shinde back into the party fold. Connecting to Mustafa Sheikh, my colleague who's joining us right outside St. Regis Hotel. Mustafa, a new message has been sent out by Uddhav Thackeray to the 20 MLAs that have pledged allegiance to him, that not to feel insecure, Eknath Shinde will come back to the party fold.
Well, yes, it's some sort of boosting of morale for the Shiv Sena MLAs by Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, because the Maha Vikas Aghadi is making the last-ditch attempt to save this government. Remember, tomorrow is the time when at 1 p.m. Uddhav Thackeray has also called for a cabinet meeting. There are chances that Uddhav Thackeray may dissolve the cabinet and then appeal and send a proposal to the governor for re-election. So whether he will risk for a re-election or whether he will convince Eknath Shinde to come back is something which the future of Maharashtra politics depends on, because it doesn't look like Eknath Shinde is going to budge. What remains important for Shiv Sena is that if they can get few more MLAs from Surat resort to Mumbai, then at least there is the fear of anti-defection law which the rest of the Sena MLAs will be facing, and there's a chance that they will come back to the Uddhav loyalist fold. That is something which will be updated tomorrow. But as of now, as things stand, Eknath Shinde has more Shiv Sena MLAs than Uddhav Thackeray. About 18 to 20 MLAs are at the St. Regis Hotel in Mumbai as of now. The list which has come out from a Surat hotel, it says that there are 33 MLAs which are with Eknath Shinde. So there is, a fear for Uddhav Thackeray government at this point of time as we stand. Uddhav Thackeray has clearly told the party MLAs that he doesn't want to go with the BJP, and he has said that we have for 2.5 years done politics against BJP. How can we join hands now? He has told them that Eknath Shinde will come back to you.
Well, it's very interesting. It seems that the mothership here in question, the Shiv Sena, by Uddhav Thackeray, the one he presides over, is working on two factions. Number one, try and keep, coercing Eknath Shinde to come back to the party fold, not rebel. Make him understand, see reason. The other, that if Eknath Shinde doesn't quite come back, then to pull away as many of those 33 MLAs away from him. They need that number to come under 30, the ones that support Eknath Shinde. So there would be a massive attempt to work on both fronts where the Shiv Sena is concerned. Meanwhile, the Maharashtra potboiler has been simmering, viewers, since 2020, because there's history to all of this. When Devendra Fadnavis teamed up with NCP's Ajit Pawar that time around, in a sort of a coup to form the government. That coup didn't quite really materialize, but it did give birth to the unlikely alliance of Shiv Sena, Congress and the NCP. Since the Maharashtra Game of Thrones has gotten only more dramatic, here's a look at all the twists and turns.
This is where the big war began. The infamous early morning ambush swearing in by the BJP, with post-NCP leader Ajit Pawar in front. The notorious scene that set off the war of Maharashtra as we are seeing it now. And when Bala Saheb Thakray's son Uddhav finally defeated the ambush to realize his dreams of chief ministership, the act of war was cemented in stone, triggering even this famous prophecy at the time over whether the Uddhav Sarkar would see its term through.
उद्धव जी, शरद पवार, संजय राउत ने सब ऑन रिकॉर्ड कहा है कि ये सरकार 5 साल चलेगी।
देखिए, हम इस सरकार को गिराएंगे नहीं, लेकिन मैं आपको स्पष्ट रूप से कहता हूं, अपने बोझ से ये सरकार गिरेगी। अंतर विरोध से भरी हुई सरकार है, ये सरकार अपने बोझ से गिरेगी। जिस दिन तक चल रही है चलेगी, जिस दिन गिरेगी उस दिन गिरेगी।
Cut forward 2 years and it's another early morning political surgical strike in the Maharashtra battlefield, with Uddhav's erstwhile number 2, Eknath Shinde, decamping with an armload of MLAs to the safety of BJP-ruled Gujarat, where he set up base for the erupting rebellion. For the last 2 years, the Maharashtra political soap opera has seen every possible twist and turn. From the cementing of Uddhav as Chief Minister with the muscle of Sharad Pawar behind him, to a BJP seething from what it painted as a public betrayal of Bala Saheb's wishes, biding its time and waiting for an opportune moment to strike. The last 20 months have been defined by an opposition BJP fishing in troubled waters, never once handed an opportunity and with several false alarms of defections and rebellions. The BJP is finally now sniffing the chance for a badla on Bala Saheb's son. Maharashtra's political temperatures have simmered continuously for 2 years, but they are back on the boil now. Where things will land for Chief Minister Uddhav and a BJP that smells blood, the next few hours and days will tell. The state's next big blockbuster Rajniti has begun. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, there's breathtaking developments as they take place in the Maha political chaos in the state of Maharashtra. Will Uddhav Thackeray be able to save his Sarkar? We're going to end that show on that question. Trust India Today to get you the ringside view, the vantage position on this big political story as it breaks and develops. Thank you for watching.